Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Let's talk about the kettlebell swing. The kettlebell swing is an incredible exercise for your posterior chain. And when I talk about posterior chain, I'm talking about all the muscles, the line down the back of your body. Your hamstrings, your glutes, your back, your lower back. It's an incredible exercise for building strength in that area, whether you're doing sports or fitness or races, or whether you just want to build muscle in that area and have a nicer bum. The kettlebell swing works all of those things. But the problem is, I walk into a gym and I see some people can get it, some people take a while to get it, and it's quite a complex exercise. So I'm going to give you the 5 top things that I see people doing wrong with the kettlebell swing. So the first mistake I see is a rounding of the back. So a rounding of the back when you go down, like this. What this is doing is not only unsafe, and it could injure your lower back if you don't have some strength there, but when doing this, you lose all the tension in your back and in your lats, all the way feeding down into your lower back. So when you bring your shoulders back and elevate your chest, you're keeping the tension in the muscles that's required. As soon as you do this, that tension is gone, and that's not how a kettlebell swing should look. Chest up, strong back. Mistake number 2. It's a funny one. It's a shoulder raise. I see people do this all the time, and that is the work in the shoulders like this. So the kettlebell swing is not a shoulder exercise. You're holding the kettlebell in your hands and your limbs are holding the weight, but it's not a shoulder and arm exercise really. It's a full body exercise. And the first thing that's telling me if somebody's doing a shoulder raise is that they're not using the hips for the strength of the movement in the momentum. The movement comes from the hip hinge, and when we're talking about hip hinging, you may hear that word or that term get thrown around quite a lot. That is your hips getting the movement in this hinge motion here. Whereas a squat, your hips are actually going up and down. A deadlift and a kettlebell swing is more of a hinging. So at the full extension of this hinge, that's where the movement of the kettlebell flings off into the shoulder. So actually, the kettlebell should feel light as a feather. If you get a really strong hip hinge, you want the snap. Boom, there, squeeze the glutes and up the arms come. This is light completely. Okay, so remember, it's not a shoulder raise, it's a hip hinge, powerful one. Mistake number 3 is hanging the kettlebell too low. So I like to remind people that the kettlebell should feed through as tight underneath the hips as possible. If you're a guy, you need to be careful, but you want to have it as tight as possible, because that's keeping as close to your body, the tightness of your close center of body, and you get to reach through under your body here. I see a lot of people swinging too low. Again, a little bit unsafe, but you lose the efficiency of the movement as well. So I'll show you what I see people doing is swinging down too low. Down too low. It's a little bit unsafe, not very functional compared to right tight under the groin. Easier to keep your chest up and pushing. Also, what that gives you is as soon as you push, it's not just swinging, but push the kettlebell through, that snap back to extension in the next rep is much easier. Okay, next mistake is mistake number 4, too much leaning back, a hyperextension. So just like a deadlift, just like a kettlebell swing, full extension is standing up at this point here. Squeeze the glutes, core engaged, chest up. Not here. We can do this in other exercises, but it's best not when loaded in the front here. So when the kettlebell comes through, leaves your shoulders, you're snapped here, glutes are switched on, and the kettlebell comes up without this hyperextension in the back. It looks like this. This is a bad rep. This leaning back. I usually see it when people are lifting too heavy. When you're lifting too heavy and getting too tired, you're doing all you can to get the kettlebell up. When really it's that snap in the glutes, bosh, arms come up, you're standing up tall. And that is a lot nicer for your spine and your core, because I see a lot of people with lower back problems and a sore lower back with the kettlebell swings. All of these things should help that lower back. And remember, with a weak lower back, people say, oh, I need to avoid that because my back hurts. when really you need to just do the exercise right. You need to figure out what is causing the injury and the tightness. Usually a weak core and bad technique. Get a better, stronger core and better technique, and you should be able to use your lower back to its advantage, not injure yourself. Okay, next mistake is mistake number 5, too much squat, like I've mentioned already. Now this exercise doesn't mean it's bad. Making a kettlebell swing too much of a squat isn't a bad exercise. It's just not the way a kettlebell swing was designed to be performed. Like I said, it's a posterior chain exercise. When you're tilting at the hips here with the hip hinge, you're loading your posterior chain, hamstrings, and glutes, calves, all the way down the back, lower back. If you turn that kettlebell swing into a kettlebell squat, then you're still loading those areas, a little bit less, but quads quite a lot as well. So I see a lot of people doing a kettlebell swing squat like this, which, like I said, it's not bad, but it's not what the kettlebell swing was designed to do. So try, if people are doing that technique good, then all you need to do is go into less of a squat, lift up the hips, keep the softness in the knees, and start to learn how to hip hinge. You can do it first without a weight, simply coming up to the wall, standing in front of it, and can you soften your knees, chest up, push back, and get your bum to touch the wall. Simple way to learn how to hip hinge, not to squat up and down. Okay, so hope you enjoyed those 5 mistakes from the kettlebell swing. I'm going to keep doing similar things of, like, I walk into the gym, I see people doing so many wrong things, and now that I don't do any personal training, it's all with the Crockford online stuff, I need an outlet, and I want to help as many people as possible learn what to do when they go to the gym without a trainer and without much guidance. So I want this channel to be all about that. Anyway, make sure you give it a like, comment underneath, click subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you check out my Crockford online programs at alexcrockford.com, and make sure you download my app. It's free in the app stores now. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.